Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunity Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We make that happen for your listening pleasure and hopefully to make your life just a little bit better. Can't fix everything, but maybe we can fix some things or make things better, at least for your benefit in the short run of things. In any event, we continue to connect on a deeper level for that reason, and this is the continuation of our obsession series, two-part series on what makes a person obsessed versus in love, and that can be a super uncomfortable thing in that's kind of where that goes, and can lead to a lot of for lack of a better term, negative things, and we continue to be in a meaningful manner, kind of moving that forward. So, first thing is, in looking at something like that, uh, basically a one-track mindedness. A person who is obsessed is a person who's only thinking about the nature of the relationship. They're not thinking about building their career. They're not thinking about building other relationships. They're not thinking about, moving things into a meaningful direction for consistency purposes. They're not thinking about how to identify ways that things are going to continue to move forward. And when we begin to understand how to do that, when we begin to understand how to be more connected with other people, and also how to be, I guess I'd say, more connected with the idea of how to help other people, it can be super valuable for a number of reasons. And so one track mindedness is the opposite of that. The next is using guilt. So if a person is constantly trying to make you feel guilty about the idea that you may not be hearing them or understanding them or being what they need, or anything of that nature, it ultimately gets extremely toxic for a number of reasons, but mostly because a healthy person isn't going to expect you to do something that you don't want to do. An unhealthy, obsessed person will, in fact, expect you to do things you're uncomfortable doing because it benefits them, and because if you love them in the right way, you would want to do these things, even if it's against what you feel is in your best interest. And so there's a selfish nature to the guilt that's brought by a person who's obsessive. They are either unwilling or incapable, or both, of seeing how they come across to other people, and that becomes super unhealthy and super just unbalanced and toxic and very hurtful, and ultimately leading to a level of lack of meaningfulness, and ultimately nature of things being out of balance. The lack of balance then leads people to get kind of into disagreements that don't need to happen, and that ultimately leads in an unhealthy direction there as well. When we begin to understand that we have responsibility, where things are going in a meaningful direction, we can then make wiser decisions, healthier decisions can be made, and we wouldn't want a relationship with someone who makes us feel or allows us to feel so out of balance. The next thing there is, ultimately, it comes down to kind of looking at it from a different directive, and that different directive is, that person is ignoring us only when, or silent treating us out only when they're not getting what they want. And so the nature to either be in one of two modes. One is the ignoring when they're not getting their needs met in the way that makes sense to them. The other is the love bombing nature of, I'm going to overlove you when I'm getting what I want, so that you feel that you need to depend upon me for your own value. That ultimately leads to a bunch of unhealthy situations. And without a doubt, there's challenges there as it relates to how to have a healthy relationship with somebody who would put us in that position. And so, obviously, kind of looking at that from a balanced perspective is necessary in order to make lasting impressions and meaningful ones. So, hopefully, this is helpful. Please keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.